Imagine waking up one morning, and the world looks just a little blurrier than it did yesterday. You blink, you rub your eyes, you tell yourself it's just tiredness. Maybe you reach for those eye drops on your nightstand, the ones you've been using for months now, but nothing changes. In fact, things are getting worse. If that sounds familiar to you, or to someone you love, then I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now and watch this video all the way through. Because what I'm about to share with you today is something that most doctors never mention during a regular checkup. It's not a prescription medication, it's not a fancy surgery, and it definitely isn't those expensive eye drops you keep buying every single month. It is a tiny, forgotten seed, one that has been quietly used for centuries, and modern science is now proving what ancient healers already knew. This seed has the power to repair, protect, and even restore your eyesight in ways that no eye drop can match. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, your eyes and your life may never be the same again. Let's talk about something that affects millions of American seniors every single day. And yet, so many people simply accept it as just getting old. I'm talking about vision decline. Did you know that over 12 million Americans over the age of 40 have some form of vision impairment? And by the time people reach their 60s, 70s, and 80s, that number skyrockets dramatically. Here's what's really happening inside your eyes as you age. Your eyes, just like every other organ in your body, go through changes. The lenses inside your eyes become stiffer. The muscles that control your focus become weaker. The tiny blood vessels that feed nutrients to your eyes start to narrow and become less efficient. And on top of that, something called oxidative stress, which is basically damage caused by harmful particles called free radicals, starts to slowly break down the delicate cells inside your eyes. Now, I know that sounds a little technical, so let me explain it in a way that makes perfect sense. Think of your eye cells like the paint on a classic car. Over time, without proper care and protection, that beautiful paint starts to fade, peel, and crack. The car doesn't stop being a car, but it's just not running at its best anymore. That's exactly what's happening inside the eyes of most seniors today. And the most common eye conditions that seniors face are these: macular degeneration, where the central part of your vision starts to blur or develop dark spots; cataracts, where your eye lens becomes cloudy, like looking through a foggy window; glaucoma, where pressure builds up inside your eye and slowly damages your optic nerve; dry eye syndrome, constant irritation, redness, and the feeling that something is always stuck in your eye; and diabetic retinopathy, especially common in seniors managing diabetes, where high blood sugar damages the tiny blood vessels in the eye. Now here's what most people don't realize. These conditions don't happen overnight. They build up slowly and quietly, sometimes over years, before you ever notice something is really wrong. And by the time most seniors finally go to the eye doctor, the damage has already been happening for a long, long time. That's why what I'm sharing with you today is so incredibly important. Now, before we get to the seed, and I promise we will get there very soon, let's talk about what most people are currently doing for their eye health: eye drops. If you're over 60, there's a very good chance you have at least one bottle of eye drops somewhere in your home right now. Maybe it's lubricating drops for dry eyes. Maybe it's prescription drops for glaucoma. Maybe it's just the kind you grab off the pharmacy shelf when your eyes feel irritated. And while some of these drops do provide temporary relief, here's what the bottle will never tell you: they are not fixing the root problem. Most over-the-counter eye drops work by simply coating the surface of your eye with artificial moisture. They make your eye feel better for maybe an hour or two, but the underlying damage, the inflammation, the cell breakdown happening deep inside your eye, the drops don't touch that. Think of it like this: if your roof has a leak during a rainstorm, you can put a bucket on the floor to catch the water. The bucket helps in the moment, but the hole in the roof is still there. Eye drops are the bucket. What your eyes actually need is for someone to fix the roof, and that's exactly what this forgotten seed does. Now, I also want to be very clear about something. I am not telling anyone to throw away their prescription medications or to ignore their doctor's advice. That is never the message here. What I am saying is that there is a powerful, natural, doctor-recognized tool that most people are simply not using. And the research behind it is genuinely remarkable. So let's talk about it. The seed I'm talking about today is called saffron. Now, wait, before you say, oh, I've heard of saffron, that's just a cooking spice, please stay with me for just a moment, because what most people don't know about saffron would genuinely surprise them. Saffron comes from a small purple flower called Crocus sativus. It has been used for over 3,000 years in ancient Persia, Egypt, Greece, and India, not just as a spice, but as a powerful medicinal tool. And when it comes to your eyesight specifically, saffron may be one of the most powerful natural substances on the entire planet. Here's why. Saffron contains two extraordinarily powerful compounds called crocin and crocetin. These are the natural chemicals that give saffron its beautiful golden red color, and these two compounds have been shown in scientific research to do something truly remarkable. They protect and regenerate the light-sensitive cells inside your retina. Now let me explain why that matters so much. Your retina is the thin layer of tissue at the back of your eye. It's essentially your eye's camera. It captures light and sends visual signals to your brain. Without healthy retinal cells, you cannot see clearly, period. And as we age, those retinal cells slowly die off and deteriorate. This is a major driver of macular degeneration, the leading cause of permanent vision loss in seniors over 65 in the United States. Here is what makes saffron so extraordinary. Multiple peer-reviewed scientific studies, including research published in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science, one of the most respected eye research journals in the world, have shown that the compounds in saffron can do the following. They slow down and even partially reverse the deterioration of retinal cells. They improve the electrical response of the retina, meaning your eye becomes better at processing light and visual information. They significantly reduce inflammation in the eye, which is one of the biggest hidden drivers of vision loss in seniors. They improve blood flow to the tiny vessels in the eye, giving your retinal cells the nutrients and oxygen they desperately need. And they act as a powerful antioxidant, fighting the free radical damage that breaks down eye cells over time. And here is perhaps the most jaw-dropping finding of all. In one landmark Italian study, participants with early-stage macular degeneration who took saffron supplements daily showed measurable improvements in their vision within just a few months. Not just a slowing of the decline, actual improvement. Patients reported being able to read smaller text. They reported better contrast and color perception. Some patients were even able to reduce their dependence on glasses. When was the last time your eye doctor told you that was even possible? I want to pause here for just a moment and speak directly to you. If you are over 60 years old, or if you are caring for an elderly parent, a grandparent, or a loved one, the information in this video could genuinely change your quality of life. Vision is not just about seeing clearly, it is about your independence. It is about being able to drive yourself to your grandchildren's school play. It is about reading your favorite book without straining. It is about recognizing the face of someone you love across a crowded room. Vision loss robs people of these moments every single day. And if there is a safe, natural, doctor-recognized tool that can help protect and even restore that, you deserve to know about it. So please, if you're finding this valuable, do one thing right now. Hit that like button and keep watching, because I still have a lot more to share with you. Now let's go a little deeper into the science. But I promise to keep this simple and easy to follow. Here's something fascinating that researchers discovered about how saffron works inside the eye. Inside your retina, you have two types of specialized cells called rods and cones. Rods help you see in dim lighting and detect movement. Cones help you see color and fine detail, like reading text or recognizing faces. As we age, and especially with conditions like macular degeneration, these cone cells in the center of your retina start to die. And here is what's so exciting about saffron. The compound crocin, found naturally in saffron, has been shown to actually protect cone cells from dying. It essentially acts like a bodyguard for the most important vision cells in your entire eye. Researchers believe it does this in several powerful ways. The first way is by reducing oxidative stress. Remember the free radicals we talked about earlier? The harmful particles that damage your cells? Saffron's compounds are incredibly powerful antioxidants. They neutralize these free radicals before they can destroy your retinal cells. The second way is by improving circulation to the eye. Your retina needs a constant supply of fresh blood, carrying oxygen and vital nutrients. As we age, the tiny blood vessels feeding the retina become narrow and less efficient. Saffron's compound crocetin has been shown to improve the flow of blood through these tiny vessels, essentially delivering more nourishment to your starving retinal cells. The third way is by reducing inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now recognized as one of the biggest silent drivers of eye disease in seniors. Saffron contains powerful anti-inflammatory properties that help calm this inflammation, protecting the delicate structures inside your eye. And the fourth way is by supporting the retina's electrical function. This one is truly fascinating. Your retina doesn't just absorb light, it converts light into electrical signals that travel to your brain. Studies have shown that saffron actually improves the strength and speed of these electrical signals, essentially making your retina more efficient at doing its job. Now, you might be wondering, is this just one or two small studies, or is this something that's been repeatedly confirmed? And the answer is genuinely exciting. Research on saffron and eye health has been conducted at universities and medical institutions in Italy, Australia, Iran, Japan, and the United States. Multiple independent teams of researchers have arrived at very similar conclusions. This is not a fringe theory. This is emerging science that the mainstream medical world is slowly but surely beginning to pay serious attention to. So who can benefit the most from adding saffron to their daily health routine? Based on the research and the guidance of integrative health practitioners, saffron for eye health seems to be most beneficial for the following groups of people. People with early to intermediate age-related macular degeneration. This is the group that has seen the most dramatic results in clinical research. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with macular degeneration, especially in its early stages, saffron supplementation is something you should absolutely discuss with your eye doctor. People experiencing blurry or declining central vision. Central vision, the sharp, detailed vision you use for reading and recognizing faces, is the first thing that starts to go for most seniors. Saffron's protective effect on cone cells makes it particularly valuable for this group. People with dry eye syndrome. Saffron's powerful anti-inflammatory effects can help reduce the chronic irritation and inflammation that makes dry eye such a miserable daily condition for millions of seniors. People managing diabetes. Diabetic retinopathy is a devastating complication of diabetes that affects the blood vessels in the eye. Saffron's ability to improve circulation and reduce inflammation makes it a potentially powerful protective tool for diabetic seniors, though always in consultation with your personal doctor, and anyone over 60 who simply wants to prevent vision decline before it starts. You don't have to wait until your vision is already in trouble to start protecting it. The best time to start is before you notice a problem. Saffron as a preventive tool is something many integrative health doctors are now beginning to recommend routinely to their older patients. And here's something very important I want every senior watching to hear right now. Many people ignore the early warning signs of vision decline because they seem so minor. Things like needing much brighter light to read than you used to, straight lines starting to look slightly wavy or distorted, colors seeming less vivid or bright than before, difficulty seeing clearly at night or in dim lighting, blurry or fuzzy vision in the very center of your sight, and increased sensitivity to glare from headlights or sunlight. If any of these sound familiar, please do not ignore them. These are your eyes sending you a message that they need help. Now let's get practical, because information without action doesn't help anyone. How exactly should you use saffron to support your eye health? There are two primary ways. The first way is through saffron supplements. In the clinical studies that showed the most impressive results, participants were typically taking 20 milligrams of saffron extract per day. This is the most reliable way to ensure you're getting a consistent and therapeutic dose. When choosing a saffron supplement, here are a few things to look for. Look for supplements that specify standardized saffron extract. This means the level of active compounds like crocin and safranol is consistent and verified. Choose products that are third-party tested for purity and potency. Look for a reputable brand with transparent and honest labeling. Aim for supplements that contain at least 2% saffronol. This is a recognized marker of quality. And always choose supplements made specifically from Crocus sativus. The second way is through culinary saffron, using it directly in your cooking and daily beverages. While supplements are the most efficient delivery method, incorporating saffron into your food and drinks is a beautiful and gentle way to add it to your everyday routine. Here are some simple and delicious ways to use culinary saffron. Saffron tea or golden milk. Take just a pinch of saffron threads, about 10 to 15 strands, and steep them in a cup of warm water or warm milk for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can add a little honey if you like. Drink this once daily. This is one of the most traditional and time-honored ways to enjoy saffron's incredible benefits. Saffron rice. Add a pinch of saffron to your rice while it cooks. The warm water or broth will draw out those beautiful golden compounds and infuse your food with them naturally. Saffron soup or broth. Add a small amount of saffron to homemade soups or broths. This is a wonderful way for seniors who prefer to get their nutrients through food rather than capsules. Now, a few important safety notes before we move on. Saffron is generally considered very safe at normal culinary and supplement doses. However, do not take more than 30 milligrams per day in supplement form without specific medical guidance. If you are pregnant, saffron in large doses is not recommended. If you take blood thinners or certain blood pressure medications, speak with your doctor first, as saffron can have mild blood thinning and blood pressure lowering effects. And if you have any serious eye condition, always discuss adding saffron with your ophthalmologist before you begin. Now, saffron is incredibly powerful, but it works even better when it's part of a complete approach to eye health. So let me give you a few additional habits and practices that can truly supercharge your results. The first one is to eat more lutein and zeaxanthin-rich foods. These are two nutrients that have been extensively studied for eye health. They're found in high concentrations in dark, leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collard greens. Also in eggs, especially the yolk, as well as corn, orange bell peppers, peas, and broccoli. Lutein and zeaxanthin act like a natural pair of sunglasses inside your eye, filtering harmful blue light and protecting your retinal cells every single day. The second habit is to protect your eyes from UV light. Sun exposure, especially ultraviolet light, can accelerate the damage to your retinal cells significantly. Whenever you go outside, wear good quality sunglasses that block 100% of UVA and UVB rays. This is one of the simplest and most powerful things you can do for your long-term eye health. The third habit is to control your blood sugar and blood pressure. Both high blood sugar and high blood pressure are absolutely devastating to the tiny blood vessels in your eyes. If you are managing diabetes or hypertension, keeping these numbers well controlled is critical for protecting your vision. The fourth habit is to reduce screen time and use what's called the 20-20-20 rule. If you use a computer, tablet, or phone, every 20 minutes, look at something at least 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. This gives your eye muscles a chance to relax and reduces the digital eye strain that is increasingly affecting seniors. The fifth habit is to stay well hydrated. Your eyes need moisture, both inside and out. Chronic dehydration contributes to dry eye syndrome. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. And herbal teas, including saffron tea, absolutely count toward this. And the sixth habit is to get regular eye exams. This seems obvious, but you would be surprised how many seniors skip their annual eye exams because their vision seems fine. Remember, many serious eye conditions develop silently, without obvious symptoms, until significant damage has already occurred. A comprehensive, dilated eye exam once a year after age 60 is not optional. It is essential. I want to share a couple of examples with you now, because sometimes the best way to understand something is through real human experience. Margaret is 71 years old and lives in Florida. She was diagnosed with early-stage macular degeneration 3 years ago. Her eye doctor told her to take the standard vitamin supplement and come back in 6 months. She did everything her doctor recommended, but a friend told her about saffron, specifically the research coming out of Italy. Curious, she brought it up with her doctor, who said there was no harm in trying it. She started taking 20 milligrams of saffron extract daily. 3 months later, at her follow-up appointment, her eye doctor was genuinely surprised. Her visual acuity had improved slightly, and the progression of her macular degeneration had slowed significantly compared to what he had expected. Margaret told him, "I can read my grandchildren's birthday cards again without using a magnifying glass." Then there's Robert, a 68-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio. He'd been struggling with dry eye syndrome for years. He went through bottle after bottle of artificial tears. He tried prescription eye drops. Nothing gave him lasting relief. His daughter, who had been researching natural eye health, suggested saffron tea twice a day. Within 6 weeks, Robert noticed his eyes felt dramatically less irritated. He was reaching for his eye drops far less often. He said, "I thought I'd just have to live with scratchy, uncomfortable eyes for the rest of my life. I had no idea something this simple could make such a difference. Now, every person is different, and results will always vary. But these stories reflect what many people are discovering, that when you give your eyes the right nutritional support, remarkable things can happen." Let me bring everything together for you now. Today, we talked about something that millions of seniors desperately need to hear. We talked about how vision decline is not just an inevitable part of getting old, and how the eye drops and standard treatments most people rely on are often just managing symptoms rather than healing the root problem. We talked about saffron, the tiny, golden, forgotten seed that has been used for over 3,000 years and is now being validated by modern science as one of the most powerful natural tools for eye health ever discovered. We talked about how its key compounds, crocin and crocetin, protect retinal cells, improve circulation to the eye, reduce inflammation, and even help restore measurable vision in people with early macular degeneration. We talked about how to use it through supplements or through simple and delicious methods like saffron tea and saffron rice. And we talked about the complete picture of eye health, the lifestyle habits, the nutrition, the regular checkups, and the small daily choices that add up to a lifetime of clearer, healthier vision. Here is what I want you to walk away with today. Your eyes are worth fighting for. You are not too old. It is not too late. And you do not have to simply accept declining vision as your destiny. There are real, evidence-based, natural tools available to you. And saffron is one of the most powerful among them. Start small. Talk to your doctor. Try saffron tea this week. Make one healthy change today. Because the gift of clear vision, the ability to see the faces of the people you love, to watch the world around you in all its beautiful detail, that gift is worth every single effort. Now, before you go, I have 3 quick things to ask of you. First, if this video gave you something valuable today, please hit that like button right now. It truly helps this information reach more seniors who need it. Second, if you have a parent, grandparent, sibling, or friend over the age of 60 who is dealing with vision problems, share this video with them. You might be giving them something more valuable than you realize. Third, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever tried saffron for your health? Or do you have a family member dealing with vision decline? Share your story. Our community here is warm, supportive, and full of people just like you. And your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Every single week, we bring you honest, research-backed, senior-focused health information, without the confusing jargon, without the scare tactics, and always with your very best interests at heart. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take care of your eyes, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.